All right, so today's deep dive might throw you for a bit of a loop.
Ooh.
We're going to be talking about what attracts younger women to older men.
Interesting.
And
Yeah.
we've got this article, Older Men Don't Realize This Attracts Younger Women. And some of the things it says are pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really curious to get your expert take on this as we kind of unpack this.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing about this article is that it kind of flips the script, you know,
Yeah.
on the whole idea of like youth obsession in the dating scene.
Right.
Like, we're always told that younger is better, but, this article is saying that like older men have certain advantages.
Yeah, totally. And like instead of framing age as like this negative thing,
Yeah.
it actually highlights that the experience that you get from being older can be a really big plus.
Right.
Like it talks about how younger women are often dealing with immaturity from men their own age.
Oh, totally. Like, think about it.
Yeah.
An older man has gone through life's ups and downs.
Yeah.
He's probably developed some resilience and like emotional intelligence, which is really attractive. He's not going to, sweat the small stuff,
Right.
which can be really refreshing,
Yeah, I can totally see how that would be appealing, especially when, the world feels kind of unpredictable these days.
Totally.
But it also talks about confidence.
Mhm.
And not just like any confidence, but like a certain kind of confidence.
Yeah, not like that arrogance,
Right.
not like you're the loudest guy in the room.
Exactly.
It's like this quiet self-assurance.
Yes.
Like yourself, you're comfortable in your own skin.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of confidence often comes with age.
Yeah,
And it's magnetic.
totally. Okay, so we've got emotional maturity.
Yeah.
We've got quiet confidence.
Uh-huh.
What else does this article talk about?
Well, appearance matters,
Okay,
but it's not about trying to look younger.
right.
It's about refinement,
Okay.
like a well-fitting suit, good grooming habits, maybe even a signature scent.
Okay.
It's about showing you care about how you present yourself.
It's like putting effort in.
Right.
Yeah. Now, this is where I think it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
The article talks about the power of scent,
Uh-huh.
and it mentions that women have a stronger sense of smell than men.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, a well-chosen cologne can actually trigger, like, a really strong emotional response.
That's because scent is directly tied to memory and emotion. Like a specific smell can bring up all these powerful feelings,
Wow.
like comfort, attraction, or even nostalgia.
Wow. I've never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Like, how a certain song can take you back to a certain time
Exactly.
or a certain place? Yeah.
It's powerful stuff.
Okay, so those emotional associations can
Yeah.
be really powerful when you're talking about attraction.
Definitely.
Okay. I'm starting to see how all of these pieces fit together.
Yeah.
But let's kind of move beyond just the physical stuff
Okay.
and talk about emotional intelligence, because the article goes deep on that.
Right.
It seems like that's like a big theme here.
Well, older men, just because they've lived longer,
Yeah.
they've probably had more experience in relationships,
Like so.
the good and the bad.
Yeah.
They've learned from mistakes,
Mhm.
figured out what works,
Mm-hmm.
developed a deeper understanding of human emotions.
So they're not just like reacting all the time.
Yeah.
They're responding with more thought and empathy.
Right. They're present, they listen attentively,
Yeah.
and they offer support that's both genuine and reassuring.
Okay. Yeah, anyone would want that,
Exactly.
regardless of how old you are.
Uh-huh.
But I'm curious about this.
Yeah.
Isn't there a risk that like older men get too set in their ways?
Oh, that's a great question.
Too routine oriented?
Yeah, and the article actually addresses that.
Okay.
It talks about how important it is to maintain a sense of adventure
Okay.
and curiosity.
Yeah.
It's not about reliving your youth,
Right.
but it's about having that spark,
Yeah.
that excitement for life,
Yeah.
that willingness to try new things and step outside your comfort zone.
So you're not just the reliable rock. You're
Yeah.
also the guy who's down for whatever,
Right.
like a weekend trip,
Exactly.
trying a new restaurant.
And that energy is contagious.
Totally. It makes you want to be around that person.
Yeah.
Okay, so it shows you've got this depth.
Yeah.
You're curious about more than just like the day-to-day.
Totally.
But what about honesty? It seems like that would be important in any relationship,
Oh, for sure.
but especially if there's an age gap.
Yeah, you're right. The article stresses how honesty is key to building trust and security, especially when you're dealing with, relationships where people might have preconceived notions or societal expectations.
So like being upfront about intentions,
Yeah,
expectations, what you're looking for, maybe even addressing those expectations head on.
exactly.
Yeah.
And for older men,
Yeah.
having seen like the consequences of dishonesty,
Yeah.
they might be more inclined to value transparency, and direct communication.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I hadn't thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got emotional intelligence, adventure honesty. What else does the article highlight as a key factor in attraction?
This one might surprise you.
Okay.
Happiness.
Happiness, really?
Think about it. We're naturally drawn to people who radiate joy and positivity.
Okay.
It's like their happiness is contagious.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm
Like,
with-
who wants to be around somebody who's always complaining?
Exactly. And older men, they've had more time to figure things out.
Yeah.
They're content with their lives,
Uh-huh.
and they tend to project that energy.
Yeah, it's like they found that inner peace,
Yeah.
that sense of contentment that comes from living a life that's aligned with their values.
Right. And you can't really fake genuine happiness.
No.
So that authenticity can be really appealing.
Especially if you're used to being around people who are always stressed
Yeah.
or complaining.
Totally. Being around someone who genuinely enjoys life, who finds humor in everyday situations,
Yeah.
and doesn't take themselves too seriously,
Right.
it can be really refreshing.
Yeah, it's like they've got this inner peace that you can't help but be drawn to.
Uh-huh.
Now, the article also mentions leadership as a strong psychological trigger for attraction,
Yeah.
but it's not talking about being dominant or controlling, is it?
No, it's more nuanced than that.
Okay.
It's about the ability to guide,
Okay.
to make decisions, and take responsibility.
Right, you've got this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it signals strength, reliability, competence,
Yeah,
which are attractive in any partner,
right.
but maybe even more so in an older man who's had more time to develop those traits.
So that sense of security and stability that you get
Totally.
from knowing that somebody's capable and in control.
Right.
And speaking of attractive qualities,
Yeah.
the article dives into this concept of social proof.
Yeah. Essentially means that a man who is respected by his peers, admired for his work,
Yeah.
and valued in his community naturally attracts attention.
So it's like birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
If he's surrounded by people who respect and admire him, it kind of reinforces that he's desirable.
Exactly. It signals that he's someone worth knowing,
Yeah.
that he has positive qualities that other people see and appreciate.
So it's not just what he says about himself.
Right.
It's how other people perceive him.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Now let's talk about finances.
Okay.
The article clarifies that financial stability isn't about wealth. It's about responsibility.
Yeah, it's about demonstrating financial wisdom.
Okay.
Being able to manage your resources.
Yeah.
And creating a sense of security both for yourself and for those you care about.
I think it's important to clarify here that it's not about younger women looking for a sugar daddy.
Right. It's not about seeking someone to take care of you financially. It's about having that peace of mind,
Right.
knowing that someone's financially responsible and capable of contributing
Yeah.
to a shared life.
It's about having your act together,
Yeah.
being responsible,
Mm-hmm.
demonstrating that you can handle your finances.
Exactly.
And along those same lines, the article talks about independence being really attractive.
Oh, yeah. Think about it.
Yeah.
Women respect men who have built lives they're proud of,
Uh-huh.
who have passions and interests outside of relationships.
So they're not clingy or needy.
Right.
They're like complete individuals.
Yeah.
And they're bringing a woman into their already established world.
And that's incredibly attractive.
Yeah.
It signals strength and self-sufficiency.
I love that. It's like you're a whole person. You're not waiting for somebody else to complete you.
And that level of self-awareness and independence can be really refreshing.
Okay, so we've talked about finances and independence, but what about communication?
Yeah.
It seems like that's where things can really break down
For sure.
in a lot of relationships, regardless of age.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. And the article points out how older men,
Yeah.
through years of experience,
Mm-hmm.
they tend to have more refined communication skills.
It's like anything else,
Right.
Practice makes perfect.
Exactly. The more conversations you have, the better you get at
Yeah.
articulating your thoughts and feelings.
Navigating those difficult conversations.
Right. And they're less likely to misinterpret signals or shy away from those tough topics.
So they're more direct and straightforward,
Exactly.
which can be such a relief,
Oh, yeah.
If you're tired of guessing games
Totally.
and mixed signals.
Yeah, and that kind of clear communication
Yeah.
creates a sense of trust
Yes.
and understanding.
Absolutely essential for any lasting connection.
Right.
Now, this is a concept that I thought was really interesting.
Okay.
The article suggests that being a mentor rather than a competitor can be incredibly attractive.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
When you think about it. Like, a lot of younger guys feel the need to prove themselves, which can lead to like this one-upmanship,
Yeah.
unnecessary conflict.
Yeah.
But an older man who embraces that mentor role,
Yeah.
offering guidance and support instead of competition,
Yes.
can create a much more nurturing and attractive dynamic.
It's like he's saying, I'm not here to compete with you. I'm here to help you shine.
Right.
Yeah.
And that speaks to a level of confidence
Yes.
and generosity that's really appealing.
Okay, the article also highlights having a sense of purpose
Oh, yeah.
as being important.
Men who have clear goals,
Yeah.
ambitions, and a passion for making a difference in the world.
Yeah.
They stand out.
They do.
They're not just drifting through life.
Right.
They have direction and drive.
It's like they're living with intention.
Exactly.
And that can be really attractive.
Right. It shows that a man is thinking beyond himself,
Uh-huh.
that he's contributing to something bigger,
Yeah.
and it speaks to his values.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, especially younger women, are looking for that in a partner.
Definitely. It's about finding someone who aligns with your values
Totally.
and is making a positive impact.
Okay, I'm seeing the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
But this next one caught me off guard.
Oh, yeah.
The article talks about patience as a really powerful trait
Ah.
that sets older men apart.
Well, you'd think patience would come with age.
You'd think so, right?
Right.
Younger guys tend to be more impulsive, you know?
Yeah, more focused on instant gratification.
Yeah.
But older men, having learned from experience, understand that good things take time.
So they're less likely to rush things
Yeah.
or to push through a commitment before it feels right
Right.
or to get frustrated when things don't move as quickly as they expect.
They're willing to let things unfold naturally,
Uh-huh.
to build trust and intimacy gradually.
And that creates a sense of security and stability,
Totally.
which can be so attractive,
Mhm.
especially in a world that feels so chaotic and rushed all the time.
It's about finding someone who can be that calming presence.
Yes.
That steady hand
Mm.
in a world that's constantly moving.
Okay, this has been so fascinating.
Yeah.
But before we move on to the next part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to touch on one final point
Okay.
that the article really emphasizes, which is understanding and embracing your own value.
This is so important
It is.
because a lot of older men,
Yeah.
they fall into this trap of doubting themselves,
Yeah.
thinking they're at a disadvantage in dating because of their age.
Because of the number, right?
Right. But the truth is,
Yeah.
age is just a number.
Exactly.
It's how you carry yourself,
Ah.
how you perceive yourself,
Yes.
that really matters.
It does.
A man who sees himself as valuable,
Yeah.
worthy, and desirable
Uh-huh.
will naturally attract others who see him the same way.
So it's not about trying to be someone you're not, or
Right.
trying to fit into some mold. It's
Yeah.
about embracing who you are,
Exactly.
recognizing your strengths,
Mhm.
owning your worth.
It's about that inner confidence shining through.
Yes.
That self-assuredness that says, I know who I am and I'm proud of it.
And that, my friend, is irresistible.
It really is. So it's fascinating how all of these qualities kind of come together, right?
Yeah.
To create this picture of what might attract younger women to older men.
Uh-huh.
It's like this blend of experience, wisdom, self-awareness,
Right.
and it can be really compelling.
Yeah, it makes me think about how, dating can feel like this constant process of like figuring things out, both about yourself and about what you're looking for.
Right.
And maybe for some younger women, the appeal of an older man is that he's already kind of
Yeah.
done some of that, figuring out,
He's got a more solid foundation.
Right.
And that's where that mentor dynamic comes in.
Uh-huh.
It's not about being like a know-it-all,
Right.
but it's about being someone who can share their experience,
Right.
offer guidance,
Yeah.
be a supportive presence.
Yeah, I can totally see how that would be appealing,
Yeah,
especially if you're looking for someone who can help you navigate certain challenges or decisions.
for sure.
But I'm curious, like, how much of this
Yeah.
is about societal expectations versus like genuine attraction?
That's a good question.
Like, do you think some older men might feel pressured to fit this wise mentor role, even if it doesn't feel authentic?
That's a really insightful question, and I think it's important to acknowledge that
Yeah.
there are always going to be societal pressures
Uh-huh.
and expectations around relationships,
Right.
especially when there's an age gap.
For sure.
But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
the most important thing is to be true to yourself
Yeah.
and to what you genuinely want in a partner.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because trying to force yourself into a role that doesn't feel right is never going to lead to a fulfilling relationship.
Exactly. And authenticity is key.
Yeah.
Like younger women can usually spot a fake.
Yeah.
They're looking for someone genuine.
Right.
Someone comfortable in their own skin.
Okay, so it's not about trying to be the perfect older man.
No.
It's about embracing who you are.
Right.
And what you bring to the table.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that includes all those things that you might see as flaws or imperfections.
Yeah.
Because those are often the things that make you unique.
Totally.
And interesting.
I think that's a great message for anyone.
Yeah.
Regardless of age or relationship status. It's about owning your story, embracing your journey.
Right.
And recognizing that those experiences, even the tough ones, have shaped you into the person you are today.
And those experiences can make you a more interesting, compelling partner.
Because you've got something to offer.
Yeah.
That goes beyond just the superficial.
Right. You're not just a blank slate. You're multidimensional.
Yeah.
You've got a rich history.
Yeah.
A unique perspective.
And that depth of character
Yeah.
is something that a lot of younger women find really attractive.
Totally.
Totally.
So it's not just about looking good.
Right.
It's about being interesting.
Yeah.
Having a story to tell.
And your story's constantly evolving, right?
Exactly.
It's about continuing to learn and grow and explore.
That's what keeps you vibrant and engaging.
Like you're constantly adding chapters to your life's story.
I love that analogy.
And that makes you somebody that people want to get to know.
Totally. Because it's not about trying to be young again.
Right.
It's about staying young at heart. Curious and open to new experiences.
Speaking of new experiences, I'm curious about this whole idea of patience in relationships. You know, the article really emphasizes that as a strength that older men often possess.
Right.
But isn't patience something that's often seen as kind of boring?
That's interesting. We often associate patience with like waiting in line or dealing with slow internet.
Right.
Not necessarily romance.
Exactly. But the article argues that in the context of dating, patience can actually be a really powerful and attractive quality.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it goes back to that idea of having a more mature perspective on relationships.
Okay.
You know, younger guys tend to be more impulsive.
Yeah.
More focused on instant gratification. They want things to happen quickly.
Right.
And they might get frustrated or give up easily if they don't.
But an older man, having been through those ups and downs, understands that those things take time.
Right. He's more likely to be patient, let things unfold naturally, and not push for a commitment before it feels right.
Yeah, and that creates a sense of security and stability.
Totally.
Which can be incredibly attractive, especially if you've been in relationships where things moved too fast or felt pressured.
It's about being able to enjoy the journey, appreciate each stage, and not rush things just for the sake of reaching a certain destination.
I love that because so much of the beauty of a relationship is in that unfolding. Right. In getting to know somebody gradually and building that connection over time.
Absolutely. And that takes patience, understanding, and a willingness to let go of control and trust the process.
Okay, so I'm starting to see how patience, when viewed in this context, can actually be a really attractive quality.
Definitely.
It's about being present, being mindful, and allowing the relationship to develop organically.
Yeah. Now, I want to go back to something we touched on earlier.
Okay.
Finances.
Yeah.
You know, the article clarifies that it's not about wealth. It's about responsibility.
Right.
But I think it's important to acknowledge that finances can be a sensitive topic.
For sure.
Especially in relationships with an age gap.
Yeah. So how do you think couples can navigate those conversations in a way that feels healthy and respectful?
That's such an important question. And I think open and honest communication is key.
It is.
It's about being transparent about your financial situation, your goals, your expectations.
So not necessarily like revealing your exact salary or bank balance, but having those bigger picture conversations about financial compatibility and how you approach money management.
It's about finding someone who aligns with your values and who has a similar approach to finances.
Yeah, and if there are differences, being able to talk about them openly and respectfully.
Exactly, without judgment or shame.
I think that's good advice for any couple, regardless of age.
Right. Money can be a major source of stress and conflict.
It can.
So being able to communicate effectively about those things is crucial.
Absolutely. And it goes back to that idea of being a team right?
Yeah.
Working together to create a shared life
Yeah.
that feels secure and fulfilling for both partners.
I love that.
It's about building a partnership where you feel supported and understood both financially and emotionally.
Right. Now, along those same lines, the article talks about
Yeah.
independence being a really attractive quality.
Yeah, but how do you balance that
Yeah.
with the desire to be in a relationship,
That's a great question.
to share your life with someone?
Yeah, because I think sometimes people confuse independence with being emotionally unavailable or detached.
Right, and that's not what we're talking about.
No. Independence in this context
Yeah.
is about having your own life, your own interests,
Yeah.
your own sense of purpose outside the relationship.
It's about being a whole person.
Exactly.
You don't need someone else to complete you.
Right. And that allows you to bring so much more
Yeah.
to the relationship.
You're not looking to fill a void.
Right.
You're looking for someone to share your already full life with.
Exactly. And that can be incredibly attractive.
Yeah.
It shows that you're confident, self-sufficient,
Yeah.
and you're not coming to the relationship with a bunch of baggage or unmet needs.
And it allows for a more balanced and healthy dynamic where both people can pursue their own passions and interests while still being fully present and committed to the relationship.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's about finding that sweet spot
Yes.
between independence and interdependence.
Okay, now let's talk about appearance.
Okay.
This is something that a lot of older men might feel self-conscious about,
Yeah.
especially when they're dating younger women. But the article makes a really interesting point about this.
Yeah.
It's not about trying to look younger.
Right.
It's about refinement.
Exactly.
So it's not about chasing trends or trying to dress like someone you're not.
Yeah, it's about presenting yourself in a way that shows you care
Yeah.
about how you look and feel.
It's like that effortless elegance that comes with
Yes.
knowing your style and feeling confident in your own skin.
Right. And that confidence is incredibly attractive,
It is.
regardless of age.
Yeah.
It's about owning your look,
Yeah.
whatever that looks like for you.
And understanding that style is a way of expressing yourself,
Right.
showcasing your personality and your individuality.
Now let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about emotional intelligence. We've touched on this a little bit,
Yeah, we have.
but I think it's worth emphasizing
Yeah.
because it's such a crucial factor in attraction,
It is.
especially when there's an age gap.
And I think sometimes there's this stereotype that older men are emotionally closed off or out of touch with their feelings.
Yeah, but the article argues that the opposite is often true.
Right.
Older men, having had more life experience, they tend to have a deeper understanding of emotions,
Yeah.
both their own and others.
Makes sense.
They've learned how to navigate the complexities of relationships. They've experienced heartbreak,
Yeah.
and they've come out the other side
Yeah.
with a greater capacity for empathy and compassion.
So they're not afraid to talk about their feelings, to be vulnerable, to offer support and understanding.
Exactly.
And that kind of emotional maturity is really attractive because it creates a sense of safety and security in the relationship.
Yeah. And you're with someone who can handle your emotions, who can support you through those difficult times, and who can create a space for open and honest communication.
And I think a lot of people, especially younger women who might not have had as much experience with relationships, are looking for that.
They are. They're looking for that emotional stability and support.
Okay, now the article also talks about the importance of maintaining a sense of adventure and curiosity, even as you get older.
Right. We often associate adventure with youth.
Yeah.
But I think it's something that we can cultivate and nurture at any age.
Absolutely.
And it's about so much more than just physical activities.
Right.
Or travel.
It's about having that spark of excitement.
Yes.
For life, that willingness to try new things, step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Keep learning and growing.
I love that because sometimes I think we get so caught up in our routines and responsibilities that we forget to make space for those things that bring us joy.
Totally.
Make us feel alive.
And that's why it's so important to prioritize those things.
Yeah.
You know, to make time for those things that light you up, even if it's just for a few minutes each day.
It's about remembering that life is meant to be enjoyed, to be savored, to be explored.
Exactly. And that kind of energy is contagious.
Yeah.
It draws people to you.
It does.
Makes them want to be a part of your life.
Yeah.
And share those experiences with you.
Okay, now this one might sound a little unexpected.
Yeah.
But the article talks about happiness as a key factor in attraction.
Think about it. We're naturally drawn to people
who radiate positivity and joy.
It's true.
It's like their happiness is contagious.
Who wants to be around somebody who's constantly complaining?
Exactly. And older men who've had more time to figure things out, who are content with their lives. They tend to project that kind of energy.
Yeah, it's like they've found that inner peace, that sense of contentment that comes from living a life that's aligned with their values.
Right. And it's about choosing to focus on the good. Finding joy in those everyday moments. And not letting the stresses of life get you down.
Okay, so we've talked about emotional intelligence, adventure, and happiness. Now, the article also discusses leadership as being a strong psychological trigger for attraction.
Right.
But what kind of leadership are we talking about here?
That's a great point.
Because I think that word can sometimes have negative connotations, especially in the context of dating.
Right. We're not talking about dominance or control.
Okay.
It's about the ability to guide, to make decisions, to take responsibility.
So it's more about that sense of confidence and competence that makes you feel safe and secure.
Exactly. It signals strength, reliability, decisiveness. Qualities that can be really attractive, especially in someone who's had more life experience and developed those leadership skills over time.
It's about knowing that you can rely on someone, that they can handle things, make decisions when they need to be made.
Right. And it's not about being bossy or controlling. It's about being able to step up and take charge when the situation calls for it.
Okay, so it's about that balance between being assertive and being respectful. Being confident and being humble.
Exactly. And I think that's something that often comes with age and experience.
Now, speaking of experience, I'm curious about this next concept. Okay.
Social proof. The article talks about how a man who is respected by his peers, admired in his community, naturally attracts attention. But isn't that kind of a superficial way of judging someone?
That's a really thoughtful question.
And
I think it's important to clarify that social proof isn't just about being popular or having a lot of friends. It's about having genuine connections with people who value and respect you.
So it's about the quality of your relationships.
Exactly.
Not just the quantity.
And it's about the way you interact with others. The way you treat people. The way you contribute to your community.
It's about building a life that's rich in those relationships and experiences, and that naturally attracts others who want to be a part of it.
Exactly. And that's something that takes time and effort.
It does.
It's about investing in your relationships, nurturing your friendships,
and building a community of people who support and inspire you.
So it's not about trying to impress people or gain approval.
No.
It's about being authentically you.
Exactly.
And letting your true personality shine through.
Now let's talk about something that's absolutely essential in any relationship, regardless of age. Communication.
Yes. The article points out that older men, through years of experience, tend to have more refined communication skills. And I think that makes sense. The more conversations you have, the more practice you get. At expressing yourself clearly, navigating those tricky topics that inevitably come up.
Older men are often better at listening attentively, understanding different perspectives, and finding common ground.
They're less likely to jump to conclusions. Get defensive, or shut down communication when things get tough.
Exactly. And that can create a sense of safety and trust in the relationship. You know that you can talk to this person, that you can be honest and open with them, and that they'll listen to you without judgment.
I love that. Because I think communication is the foundation of any strong and healthy relationship.
For sure. Now, here's a concept that I found really fascinating. The article suggests that being a mentor rather than a competitor can be incredibly attractive.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah.
Because I think that might sound a bit counterintuitive to some people.
Yeah, a lot of younger guys. They feel this need to prove themselves, to compete for attention and validation. But an older man who embraces that mentor role, offering guidance and support instead of competition, can create a much more nurturing and attractive dynamic.
It's like he's saying, I'm not here to compete with you.
Exactly.
I'm here to help you shine. And that kind of generosity and selflessness is incredibly attractive.
It is.
It shows that he's confident in himself. He's not threatened by a woman's success.
Yeah.
And that he genuinely wants to see her thrive.
Yeah, I can see how that would be a major turn on.
Right.
It's about finding someone who believes in you, who supports your dreams, and who wants to help you become the best version of yourself.
Exactly. Now, the article also highlights the importance of having a sense of purpose.
Yeah, and I think that's so important for everyone.
It is.
Regardless of age or relationship status.
Yeah.
It's about having something that gets you out of bed in the morning.
Right.
Something that gives your life meaning and direction.
Exactly. And men who have clear goals, ambitions, a passion for making a difference, they stand out.
They do.
They're not just drifting through life.
Right.
They have direction and drive.
And that kind of passion can be contagious.
It makes you want to be around that person.
Yeah.
Learn from them, be inspired by them.
It shows that they're living with intention. They're not just going through the motions.
Right.
They're committed to making a positive impact.
Now, this one might surprise you, but the article talks about patience as being a rare but powerful trait that sets older men apart.
We often think of patience as something that comes with age.
We do.
Right. And in many ways it does.
Yeah.
Younger guys tend to be more impulsive, more focused on instant gratification.
Yeah.
But older men,
Yeah.
having learned from experience,
Yeah.
understand that good things take time.
Right. So they're less likely to rush things,
Exactly.
to push for a commitment before it feels right, to get frustrated when things don't move at the pace they expect.
They're willing to let things unfold naturally,
Uh-huh.
build trust and intimacy gradually.
And that creates a sense of security and stability,
Yeah.
which can be so attractive,
Totally.
especially in a world that feels chaotic and rushed.
Right. It's about being present, mindful,
Yeah.
and allowing the relationship to develop organically.
And that kind of patience can be so reassuring,
It can.
especially if you've been in relationships where things felt rushed or pressured.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm really starting to see how all these qualities come together
Yeah.
to create this picture of what might attract younger women to older men. It's not just about the age difference.
Right.
It's about the experiences, the wisdom,
Yeah.
the emotional maturity that often comes with having lived a longer life.
And it's about embracing all those things.
Right.
Doing your story and being authentically you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to touch on one final point
Okay. Wait.
that the article emphasizes:
Uh-huh.
understanding and embracing your own value.
This is so important.
It is. Because a lot of older men,
Yeah.
they fall into this trap of doubting themselves, thinking they're at a disadvantage because of their age.
Because of that number.
Yeah.
Right.
But the truth is, age is just a number.
It is.
How you carry yourself, how you perceive yourself, that really matters.
A man who sees himself as valuable, worthy, and desirable will naturally attract others who see him the same way.
Exactly.
So it's not about trying to be someone you're not or trying to fit into some preconceived mold.
Yeah.
It's about embracing who you are, recognizing your strengths, and owning your worth.
It's about that inner confidence shining through.
Yeah.
That self-assuredness that says, I know who I am and I'm proud of it.
And that is attractive no matter what your age.
It really is.
It's really not about recapturing your youth. It's more about cultivating those qualities that make you a high-value man, no matter how old you are.
It's about becoming the kind of man who naturally attracts anyone who values depth, character, authenticity. And yeah, that might include younger women.
You know what I think? A lot of people, regardless of age, could benefit from hearing this message.
Definitely.
It's a good reminder that attraction isn't about trying to fit into some mold. It's about embracing who you are and what makes you unique.
Absolutely. And it's about recognizing that those things we often see as weaknesses, like age or experience, can actually be our greatest strengths.
So instead of trying to hide those things, we should be celebrating them.
Yeah.
I love how this article emphasizes that attraction isn't about manipulation.
Right.
It's about embodiment.
It's about becoming the kind of person who embodies those qualities that naturally draw others in. And those qualities aren't superficial.
Right.
They're about character integrity.
Yeah.
A genuine passion for life.
So it's not about tricks or techniques.
Right.
It's about inner work, self-improvement, becoming the best version of yourself.
Exactly. Which is a lifelong journey.
Yeah, it is.
Not a destination.
And that's what makes it exciting.
It's about constantly evolving, learning, and growing. And that kind of energy is magnetic.
So I think a key takeaway here is that attraction isn't about trying to force something that's not there. It's about cultivating those qualities that make you genuinely attractive, both to yourself and to others.
And that starts with self-awareness, understanding your strengths and weaknesses, and making a conscious effort to become the best version of yourself.
It's about taking responsibility for your own happiness, your own growth, your own journey.
Exactly.
Well said. So to wrap things up, it's not just about attracting younger women.
No.
It's about becoming a more attractive human being overall.
And I think that's something we can all aspire to.
We can.
Regardless of age or relationship status.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a really fascinating deep dive. I feel like we've uncovered some really valuable insights into attraction relationships. What it means to be a high-value man.
It's been a thought-provoking conversation.
Now, before we sign off, I have a question for you listening at home.
Okay.
Do you think these qualities we've been discussing are universally attractive? Or are there cultural or generational differences to consider?
That's a great question.
We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Something to ponder, for sure.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the psychology of attraction.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll catch you next time.